Look at your phone, your shirt tag, or the bottom of your TV. Chances are you'll see 3 words: Made in China. How did one country come to make so much of what the world buys and uses? It wasn't an accident. This was the result of a plan, immense effort, and a global economic shift. The story of China's rise as the world's factory is about more than economics. It's about people. Millions left villages for new cities, working in factories that never slept, producing goods for people they'd never meet. This transformation didn't just change China, it rewired the world's entire system of making and selling things. To understand this shift, we need to go back to a pivotal decision in Beijing, a gamble that changed everything. It started not in a factory, but in the halls of power, where leaders sought a way out of poverty and isolation. In 1978, China was poor, isolated, and stuck in a failing system. After Mao's death, Deng Xiaoping emerged, a leader focused on results, not ideology. He famously said, "It doesn't matter if a cat is black or white as long as it catches mice." Deng's reforms, called reform and opening up, allowed farmers to sell surplus crops and small businesses to emerge. For the first time, ambition and profit were encouraged, not punished. Agriculture was decollectivized, boosting food production and freeing millions for factory work. This new labor force would soon power China's industrial revolution. Deng's vision was to blend state control with market freedom, socialism with Chinese characteristics. He wasn't aiming for Western democracy, but for national strength and prosperity. These reforms unlocked China's potential and set the stage for opening to the world. Deng's next move was bold: the open-door policy of 1979. Instead of opening the whole country, he created special economic zones, SEZs, experimental areas for foreign business. Shenzhen, once a fishing village, became the first SEZ in 1980. Foreign investors got tax breaks, less bureaucracy, and access to cheap labor. Shenzhen exploded into a megacity, drawing workers from across China. Factories churned out toys, textiles, and electronics for export. The success of Shenzhen led to more SEZs along the coast, each attracting foreign capital and new business practices. These zones proved Deng's model worked, and their policies soon spread nationwide. China's rise as a manufacturing powerhouse had begun. The SEZs triggered a global business rush. Companies from Hong Kong, Taiwan, and later the West flocked to China for one main reason: labor. Millions were willing to work for a fraction of Western wages, but it wasn't just cheap labor. China offered minimal regulations, low taxes, and no independent unions. Local governments helped companies scale up fast, providing land, infrastructure, and workers. Only China could meet the massive demands of giants like Nike and Apple. The world's supply chains shifted to China, as companies closed factories at home to survive global competition. It wasn't just about saving money, it was about staying in business. The gold rush transformed China into the world's workshop. In the 1990s and 2000s, China's manufacturing boom went nationwide. Joining the World Trade Organization in 2001 opened global markets even wider. The Made in China label became the default for everything from socks to smartphones. Cities specialized, one made socks, another laptops, another buttons, creating ultra-efficient supply chains. Industrial ecosystems meant companies could source every part locally, boosting speed and flexibility. Migrant workers powered this boom, living in dorms, working long hours, and sending money home. As skills and infrastructure improved, China moved from toys and textiles to high-tech products like iPhones and car parts. The country was no longer just a source of cheap goods, it became a hub for advanced manufacturing. China's industrial power was growing, not just in size, but in sophistication. The world had never seen anything like it. By the 2010s, China produced nearly a quarter of the world's goods. For consumers, this meant affordable TVs, phones, and clothes. But the shift hollowed out factories in the US and Europe, sparking social and political tensions. Made in China now meant both access and anxiety. Cheap goods but lost jobs. Inside China, rapid growth brought pollution and rising worker demands. Wages increased and the era of endlessly cheap labor faded. Still, China's manufacturing ecosystem was so deep and efficient that moving production elsewhere was nearly impossible. The world depended on China's vast network of suppliers, logistics, and skilled workers. For a time, China's dominance seemed unshakable. Today, China remains a manufacturing giant, but its dominance is under pressure. Trade wars and the COVID-19 pandemic exposed the risks of relying on one country. Companies are diversifying, turning to Vietnam, India, and others for production. These countries can't yet match China's scale, but they're gaining ground in textiles and electronics. Inside China, youth unemployment and a real estate crisis pose new challenges. The government is pivoting, investing in robotics, AI, and high-tech industries. The goal moved from made in China to created in China. Automation is replacing workers, and China aims to lead in innovation, not just manufacturing. The era of China as the world's sole factory is ending, but its industrial base and ambition remain formidable. As the label on your phone or shirt starts to change, the world must adapt to a new era of global manufacturing.